Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's and Mariana's Coffee.
Tonight on the Channel 2 News. From Polynesia to Micronesia, the Pacific says a warm goodbye to a difference maker. Also tonight, while the Korean market continues to post strong numbers, overall tourism numbers are still way off. And Hong Kong Airlines will start to bring Chinese tourists directly to our shores at the end of this month. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
Find a plan that goes with your flow. Get unlimited local talk, text, and data at the most affordable rate with Unlimited Flow Postpaid.
I love Mariana's Coffee. Come join me for a cup. I think you would be really happy.
Our new McDonald's Spicy Chicken McNuggets are just the right amount of spicy. A small to medium Sprite kind of spicy. Let's get a McFlurry after this kind of spicy. But if you get the mighty hot sauce, it's a napkins up for foreheads now kind of spicy. This came from McDonald's kind of spicy? Because our Spicy Chicken McNuggets, breaded in tempura and made with cayenne, are just the right amount of spicy. Unless you remember what I said about the sauce. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hong Kong Airlines will start direct service to Saipan at the end of this month. Flights scheduled to operate twice per week on a wide-body aircraft. Many of those seats will be pre-purchased. Tan Holdings reportedly will commit to buying a sizable number of seats on each plane and will package them with hotel rooms and optional tours to attract guests from mainland China. Many local residents have been asking about purchasing tickets from here to Hong Kong, and that should also be available soon. As of today, the flight, which kicks off on April 28th, was not yet available for purchase on Hong Kong Airlines' website, but we were able to find it on third-party sites like Trip.com. The inaugural flight today listed on Trip.com for $399 one way for the 5-hour flight. That leaves Hong Kong on the 28th at 7:25 in the evening and arriving just after 2 a.m. local time. Arrivals to the NMI approached 20,000 people for the month of March. That number's up from a year ago, but still 46% down from March of 2019. 14,000 those arrivals came from South Korea. Direct flight services provided to Saipan from Seoul by T-Ways, Asiana Airlines, and Jeju Air. Monthly average airline load factor, or percentage of seats sold, has been above 90% since January for that Korean market, reaching 91% in March for regular flights. Visitor arrivals from Japan broke the 1,000 mark. 680 of those Japanese came from the arrival of a cruise ship. China arrivals in March higher than from Japan. They reached 1,222 compared to just 58 arrivals in March of 2023. Prior to the pandemic, China was the second largest source market of visitors to the Marianas, with multiple direct flights a week from 5 cities. Most visitors from China are now FITs, transiting via Seoul and Tokyo to the Marianas. That may change at the end of the month, however, as Hong Kong Airlines will commence twice weekly direct flights from Hong Kong, and that starts on April the 28th It will mark the airline's first flights to the Marianas since the COVID-19 pandemic. In March, the Marianas also received 815 visitors from Guam, 809 visitors from the United States, and a combined 494 visitors from all other markets. This weekend in both the Hawaiian Islands and the Mariana Islands, a celebration of life was held for Mrs. Jean Sokovich, who passed away in January of this year. Hawaii was home for Jean Sokovich, who grew up in the area on a sugar plantation.
To be as one heart, one mind, one body. As we listen to family members, loved ones come to honor Jean, Coach Jean, let us just remember the energy, the mana, the generosity, the heart that it goes in to build connections, not just with family members and loved ones, but with a community.
And Hilo is where Jean first met a young Bill Sokovich.
He was here working for the Peace Corps, apparently looking for college girls.
The year was 1966, and Bill decided to hitchhike over to the Kona side, and Jean decided to pick him up.
About 2 years later, they were married in Hilo at the First Protestant Church with a reception right here at the Hilo Yacht Club.
The young couple moved over to Oahu, and then it was a big move out west.
And this time, about 4,000 miles away to the island of Saipan.
In 1974, Bill and Jean started the Saipan Swim Club, with the first swims held in the ocean and then a move into a small hotel swimming pool. They brought a culture along with them.
We seem to gel, produce a productive swim team, thanks Swim Club, and raise two wonderful children, John and Monica.
The Sokoviches spent 30 years in the Mariana Islands building a swimming community that continues to this day.
We don't realize how awesome our parents are, and to see every single one of you that are here, whether you're related, you're all family. One way or another that she has touched your lives, affected your lives in a positive manner. To me, that's amazing. It just reinforces what I learned over the last 10, 15 years, that my mom's pretty blank awesome.
I'm so grateful for all of the friends and family that supported us while she was in the hospital and at rehab. Some of you were there with us just about every day. Really appreciate all your support. She has such amazing friends and people in her life, and I only hope that I can be as fortunate as her. So thank you. I'm kind of sad because we all know she would have loved this party, but happy knowing that she wouldn't have had it any other way.
After the family spoke, friends gathered to share stories of Jean. The Sokoviches moved back to Hilo 20 years ago and have remained active in swimming and paddling in the Hilo area. The gathering had an ample mixture of representatives from Polynesia and Micronesia, an extended family from across the Pacific there to give thanks to the Sokoviches.
You got a full canoe.
On Saturday morning, Hawaii local time, it was time to head into the ocean for a ceremony on the water.
Settling it all with you, Lord, and winning the greatest prize of all, which is eternal life. I thank you, Lord God, for her life, for her many family friends, Lord God.
Crews and 6-man outrigger canoes paddled out in Hilo Bay to a small island that had more friends standing by for a traditional ceremony. Expert steersmen kept the canoes safe and close together. Jeannie's ashes were placed in the water while paddles went up and all of us took a moment to remember the life and the impact of someone who shaped so many lives around her. Many of the boats had more people than seats or paddles, but one boat had a seat that appeared empty. That seat and paddle will forever belong to Jeannie Sokovich, an athlete, wife, mother, sister, grandmother, friend, and coach. Meanwhile, in Saipan, swimmers and paddlers were preparing their own ceremony held in the lagoon to honor a woman who meant so much in our local waters. Swimmers and community members gathered and spoke before placing flowers in the ocean and paddling out into the clear, blue, warm water. In Hilo, the Saipan team watched the beautiful proceedings live from the Sokovich house. On the other side of the date line, we paddled back to the beach in Hilo Bay, all the better for knowing a couple that were married to each other for over 50 years, married to the water, and married to sharing it with so many others. We gather on the shore for some final words in a Sokovich circle that is felt across the Pacific. Chris Nelson for the Channel 2 News.
I love Marianne's coffee from Join Me for a Cup. I think you would be really happy.
Premium office space is available now at the Hermosa Vista Business Park on Capitol Hill. Features include dedicated parking, fast internet, backup power, good water, and natural light throughout to go along with the very best views on Saipan. So don't settle for space when you can get peace and peace of mind. Call Hermosa Vista today at 670-483-4750 or email hvsaipan@gmail.com.
Fast, fun, and easy. That's how your home Wi-Fi should be. So start with an internet plan that fits your budget. Introducing your home Wi-Fi starter pack, also known as WISP. Enjoy up to 25 megabits per second for as low as $35 a month. Plus, a free router with your wireless subscription. That's hours of movies, games, social media, and more endless fun. Get your Wi-Fi starter pack today only at Docomo Pacific. Better together. Additional conditions may apply.
The AG announced today a new partnership with the U.S. Department of Transportation to review and resolve consumer complaints against airlines and ticket agents. Last year, United Airlines drastically increased ticket prices from Saipan to Guam, essentially doubling the fare, and that has resulted in some local backlash and calls for United to rethink their pricing strategy here in the islands. CNMI says there will now be a new process for addressing consumer complaints against air travel companies that reinforces state and federal commitments to protect the rights of travelers. The NMI is one of 25 states or territories to sign or indicate interest in signing this new MOU. U.S. Department of Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says by partnering with a bipartisan group of state attorneys generals, the U.S. DOT has expanded their ability to hold airlines and ticket agents accountable and protect passengers from unfair or deceptive practices. The AG calls it a historic agreement and says that the CNMI AG will be authorized now to investigate consumer complaints and will work with consumers and companies to resolve those complaints, and if necessary will refer the complaints to an Office of Aviation Consumer Protection. Fares between Saipan and Guam are currently $580 round trip for the 25-minute flight, and while there are some local discounts available, they can be difficult to access and understand. Local leaders are calling for better pricing for all, not just those with a local address. The MOU is scheduled to last for 2 years and will include technical assistance and training. Interested community members on Saipan who are looking to learn more about the foundational principles and essential knowledge that have guided seafarers for centuries are invited to register for a 4-week traditional navigation program hosted by the Northern Marianas College's Community Development Institute in collaboration with 500 Sails. In the first module of the training program, participants will explore the rich history of traditional navigation, tracing its origins and evolution across cultures, and uncover wisdom passed down through generations as they learn to navigate using the stars, current, and natural phenomenon while engaging with traditional tools and techniques. The training program is open to members of the public residing in Saipan who are at least 14 years old, and all training sessions will be held at the 500 Sails Boatyard in Lower Base from 4 to 5 p.m. That starts April 23rd and runs through May the 24th. For more information, you can contact NMC's Community Development Institute. Thursday night, right here on Channel 2, we're pleased to present a new episode of the Humanities Half Hour hosted by Catherine Perry. In this week's show, the Executive Director of the Commonwealth Council for Arts and Culture talks about the NMI's participation in FestPac.
This year, it's the 13th year Festival of Pacific Arts that is held every 4 years. But the excitement in it is going there to meet all these other different countries, sharing what you have, sharing who you are, what you are, your history, because it's going to be 10 days of that. 10 days of carving, 10 days of culinary, 10 days of storytelling, 10 days of demonstration, and it's a combination of all these 28 countries. And my excitement there is the fact that we are the only country that always comes in with 2 cultures, the Chamorro and the Carolinian.
FestPac opening ceremony scheduled for June the 6th in Hawaii. Join us right here on Channel 2 on Thursday night at 7 p.m.
With the FestPac, having everybody there every 4 years is like, it's reconnecting with one another and how far we've progressed with, promoting our culture, promoting our custom. And so I just shared that we do not have to go, but if we do not go, it's like we become that missing link in this chain of, people that are all coming together.
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Goat's Gym, and today we're going to go over the kettlebell deadlift. Fantastic exercise to build overall strength, particularly in the legs and hips. Remember, we want to make sure that our setup is in good position. If you set up in a bad position, it's not going to look good and it's certainly not going to feel good. So a common error setup is obviously a rounded upper back. 2 simple ways of correcting that. All I'm going to have Vince do here is extend his arms up here, and all he's going to do is think about reaching long and pushing his hips back. Reach long and push your hips back. So as you can see, he's already in good position. Now all he's gonna do is grab that kettlebell. He's got tension in his legs and in his back. All he's gonna do is just stand up tall, finish with his glutes.
Hey, golfers, come north and practice your game at the Marianas Driving Range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time, and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week. At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537. Weather forecast looking beautiful the next few days in the Mariana Islands. East winds 10 knots, wind waves 2 feet or less, northeast swell 5 to 6 feet, and north of 3 feet. On Thursday, you can expect the same. Northeast swell at 5 to 6 feet, and north at 3 feet. And then Thursday night through Saturday, expect east winds 10 to 15 knots, wind waves 2 to 3 feet, northeast swell 4 to 5 feet, and north at 3 feet. The sunrise today, 6:02 a.m. and sunset 6:32 p.m.